This is the Tom Anderson Show, broadcasting live from the KVNT studios, 7 to 9 a.m., Monday through Friday.
Headline news this morning that Alaska and 10 other states' attorney generals filing suit against the Biden administration over this business vaccine mandate, which is very frustrating to me. And all the businesses at my day job at Optima that we represent, the Capstone clinics, I can go down the list, that have over 100 employees, are really going to be harmed by this. And Governor Mike Dunleavy of the great state of Alaska joins us. Governor Dunleavy, I'm quite proud of you for having your attorney general recommend and move forward and join Missouri and other states to try to prevent this mandate. It would start January 4th, over 100. It's going to affect a bunch of businesses in Alaska. What's your take on the potential of success to block that?
Well, we've been looking at this for some time, Tom, and we actually we were the ones that reached out to the other attorney generals quite some time ago to get folks lined up for this. We simply feel it's unconstitutional. We've got a whole host of issues we're looking at, but certainly the 10th Amendment that those powers not given to the U.S. Federal government are reserved by the states and the people of Alaska. And so that's what we believe is going on here, that they're going to violate the Constitution by implementing this. There's been no congressional action on this. This is just coming unilaterally from the Biden administration. So across the board, we think it violates a number of different areas within the Constitution. And also, which doesn't make any sense, we're having an employment issue. And so people are going to be forced potentially to lay off individuals who, for a number of reasons, don't wish to have a vaccine. It's going to cause more unemployment issues. It's going to cause supply chain issues. And it's just going to exacerbate this inflationary spiral we seem to be caught in now. So I think it's a bad decision across the board, but we're going to fight it.
Absolutely. The Anchorage Daily News reports that in a very positive way that COVID deaths are minimizing, less cases, less hospitalizations. We've covered the fact that on a death certificate, if let's say you have a heart attack, the cause of death is, let's say, an aorta tear or some element organically of the heart, and then the second reason is cardiac arrest, and then the third, if someone had COVID, they toss that in, and typically the news would say that person died of COVID, which we know it wasn't from COVID, it was from the heart attack. And so when I look at the numbers here, there's a little bit better reporting and transparency. Bottom line, it's good news. It's reducing, and your lack of mandates, many say, is the fuel that has reduced COVID, whether you call it herd immunity or whatever label you want to slap on. What is your take on the future as this reduces? I mean, I know you're not one that pats yourself on the back, but it seems like status quo with the lack of mandates statewide is really working.
So our job, you make a good point, Tom. Our job was always to make sure that the hospital systems don't collapse. Our job was not to make people take a vaccine or make people change your lives so radically they didn't recognize it anymore. So we got 450, 500 healthcare workers to come to Alaska to give our local healthcare workers a break during the surge. It's when I say it's really working out, it's working out in the manner that it was supposed to, and that is folks are getting a break and people are getting the care that they need. Now, with regard to the virus, this Delta variant, people make choices. And there are people that make a choice to get a vaccine. There are people that don't. There are people that make choices to use therapies, other types of medicines when they are infected. But the long and short of it is, this is an interesting statistic, Tom. Alaska's survivability rate, in other words, when you get infected, is the highest in the nation. 99.47% of all folks infected, they survive the coronavirus. There's no other state that is near Alaska. So when it comes to survivability rate, death rates, death per capita, etc., Alaska's still doing pretty good. Would I like to see the virus go away? Sure, who wouldn't? But I think the state's doing our job. The people of Alaska are taking care of themselves in a manner that they see fit. And we're going to see surges we're going to see waves. This thing's going to be with us for a long time. I think most of the world is starting to recognize that. And so we've got to learn to incorporate it. We've got to learn to live with it. But there are precautions that can be taken by individuals, and those precautions are well known.
Department of Public Safety, we had Commissioner Jim Cockrell, on here a couple of weeks ago, and props and high accolades to your man, Dave Steeran, who is really doing a phenomenal job to get you and your team on this show regularly and shows across the state. And obviously he has that acumen from his former day job, but he's just a master at that. And with Commissioner Cockrell on and team, the results, and he gave you great credit, the commissioner did, with your leadership, especially with him there. I mean, you're looking at sexual assault crimes. I mean, Robert Hansen, these cold case files, victims of the past. You're seeing more troopers in rural Alaska. It's getting better and better and better. You know, my dad, who's a fan of yours, supports you, will support you next year. A retired State Trooper Colonel worked his way up the ranks. He said they're really doing a great job from his bird's eye view. And my dad's a tough critic. He doesn't always say that under other administrations. I'll leave it at that. You're doing a phenomenal job, and I see nothing but bright light in the future as you get more trooper academies going. Anything beyond that, or just success and keep moving forward with the momentum?
Yeah, so a couple things, Tom. So again, Alaska, I think Alaska's doing a great job. We were one of only 2 states in the country that this past year and a half had no riots, no burnings, no lootings, no shootings of police officers, no political mayhem. That's a testament to Alaskans. We worked hard to repeal SB 91, if you remember. Just about every day in the newspaper, the car thefts, burglaries, you name it. Our crime rate has pointed downward ever since we got into office and repealed that bill. And so car thefts, for example, are down 37% and still falling. And that's, again, a testament to Alaskans, but also our fine men and women in uniform. And we're going to continue to support them. There's no talk of defunding the police up here. That's nonsense. And you're going to see crime rates continue to fall. So Alaska, despite the pandemic, Alaska's got a lot of good things going for it right now that I think a lot of other states would envy.
The other thing I like to see is, a lot of these are our clients, so I'm already friends with them, but I look at your connection and cooperation as the governor of Alaska with Wasilla Mayor Glenda Ledford, or a new Matsuboro Mayor Edna DeVries, or a past mayor of Wasilla Bert Cottle, or a Dave Bronson, mayor of Anchorage, or a Jim Matherly up in Fairbanks, another one of our clients. You have really done a good job working with the municipalities, and is that something that you see continuing into the future years? I mean, it seems again like your success has great momentum with these munis and the state municipal nexus and borough nexus.
Oh, absolutely. And the people you named, all those people are good people.
And Kenai.
All those people
Yep.
Yeah, all those people are good people. Charlie Pearson, Kenai, folks on the Kenai Peninsula, here in the valley up in Fairbanks, all very good people. And Dave Bronson and I, we talk frequently. We meet together. So long story short is we do have momentum, and we've got some good people in place in our local governments. And I think we're going to see more and more good things happen. As things outside the state of Alaska continue to be somewhat chaotic, here in the state of Alaska, in some respects, it's a bit of a sea of tranquility. But I do want to say, Tom, I don't know how much time we have, but I do want to say that we're going to continue to protect the rights of Alaskans. We're going to continue to fight back against this administration and Congress that we know are trying to socially engineer this entire country. We're going to use every tool we have. We believe there's 10th Amendment violations that we believe we can succeed on when we take this to court. And Alaskans are just going to have to keep taking care of themselves, doing what's best for them, working with their healthcare professionals. We're going to get through this. The numbers are going down. The surge is starting to abate. Our hospital systems are intact. And so we're going to keep moving forward.
And 1.2 forecast higher oil prices, adding 1.2 billion to the budget. That's under your watch. I see nothing but successes. Boy, you make these interviews easy because you're doing everything right. So I mean, I hope people weren't bored by all the successes. I don't know what else to ask other than to high five you over the phone. Keep up the good work, Governor, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right, Tom. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. That's Governor Mike Dunleavy of the great state of Alaska. Folks, stay with us. One segment ahead. Good morning.